What is up, guys? JD here, bringing you a brand new everyday carry video. Today we're going to be doing a comparison of two budget option pocket knives that can be found well under $50. We're going to start with the Steelwill Cutjack in OD green, and the other will be the Ontario Rat 1 in matte black. As you can tell, I'm bringing you two completely different options as far as sizing goes, but very similar with features. The Steelwill is a front finger flip with a steel D2 blade, FRN handle that is texture grip, and it's a little bit more aggressive than the Ontario, and that's because it's smaller and you want to be able to grip that. As you can see, it has the laser embroidered Steelwill logo, not overdone, stempling on the back of the blade, and clearly marked as a D2 steel option. Something that's impressive at this price point and size is it still has an ambidextrous clip for your pocket so that you can switch it depending on your carrying preference, but the blade will always be pointed up. It has a lanyard holder. As you can see, I have my paracord lanyard on here already. So that's a really great knife. Again, the grip is not sacrificed because of the aggressive texturing. So hand position, whether you're holding it as it's meant to be carried or if you're trying to do some precision cutting and using this stempling, is really nice. So don't let the size deter you from this knife. The grip is really good, and I have big hands, so I can tell you that the grip is really good. The other thing that I really like about this knife is it closes very crisp. The blade is very centered inside of the steel liners. Now the liners are a little bit hard to see, but they're in there and they're recessed. So again, really good for a smaller knife. Now, if you like something that's a little bit bigger, you want to look at the Ontario Rat 1. This one's a little bit different because it has fish scales, so not as aggressive texturing, but it's not needed. You can see that the steel liners are a lot bigger. The pocket clip is a little bit different because it is four-way adjustable, so ambidextrous and position. Whether you prefer to have the blade pointed up or down, this gives you a little bit more options because it's a slightly bigger knife. So that's something to keep in mind when you look at the Cutjack versus the Rat. Now, this is a thumb flipper, so a little bit different here also from the finger flip. So the blade is still going to be D2 steel, which is good for both these knives. It has the stempling on the back of the blade still for help with the grip, and the finger hole is really nice for the grip as well. The blade's made in Taiwan, so I'm not really sure if this is going to be something that's for you made in USA buyers, but still for the value, it's a really solid knife. Now, as you can tell, there's a huge difference between the sizes. The Steelwill is a 3-inch blade, whereas the Ontario Rat 1 is a 3.5-inch blade. So it's going to be a little bit different. The way it opens is going to be a little bit different. The finger flip is definitely different from the thumb. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at these two blades. I don't have a preference. Both work really well. I have fun flicking the finger, but both are really nice. When they're closed, the difference between the two is going to be a 5-inch on the Ontario and a 4-inch on the Steelwill. And the weight difference, the Steelwill is going to come in under 3 ounces, whereas the Ontario, being a little bit bigger, is going to be 4.8 ounces. So a little bit different in weight, but probably not something that you're going to really feel in the pocket. So another thing to consider, again, is going to be the difference in the blade. So the blade having the 3-inch versus the Ontario having the 3.5-inch is because it's going to make it nicer for cutting if you're trying to do big jobs. Probably a little bit better duty carry for the Ontario, in my opinion, especially with the beefier steel lining. The other thing, again, being that the clips are ambidextrous and reversible so that you can pocket carry. The weight feels like it's a little bit heavier when open towards the blade, so I feel like it's not very well balanced, even though it has the beefier steel liners. So that's just something to keep in mind. It still feels very good. It's not hugely noticeable that it's off balance. Blade centering, again, very nice on both these knives. So not a real issue when it comes to the quality. They both feel very well made. Excellent value for under $50. Finger flipper, again, is also fun. Just something to keep in mind depending on what your preference is between these two knives. So when you come back to the Cutjack, the other thing that I'll mention here also is that it is nice that it has the choke on the blade to help you with your grip if you're trying to do a little bit more of a surgical type cut. It feels very light. It's just a super lightweight, don't know that it's in your pocket type of knife. The steel liners are recessed a little bit, but I don't feel like that really affects anything. And then if you see here, it has the little grip for the inside of the palm when it's in your palm, and the other side remains open for the blade, obviously. So I just want to give you a good look here so that you can see what I'm talking about with the steel liner and the handles. Both grips are very solid. They feel comfortable in any type of position in the hand. And again, close very solid. The action on these knives are very good. Nothing that you need to worry about as far as action. Opening, closing, never feels gritty, is very smooth, which is impressive again at this price point. I'll leave a link down in the description box below so that you can get to these knives, see how much they cost and what the value is. While you're down there, if you can leave a like, helps the channel, turn on your notifications and subscribe so that I can bring you more content like this on a weekly basis. Thanks, guys.